Tanor Bortolini at center has got to be one of the smartest guys on the field. That's what centers are. They have to call out coverages. They have to see what the defense is going to try to do up front, what games they're running. Are they going to run a stunt? What are they going to do? Are they coming with a blitz? Who has to pick it up? All that stuff. They have to call out. Tanor Bortolini in his second year. One of the reasons that Ryan Kelly isn't here anymore, it's not just because Ryan Kelly wanted to go to the Vikings. The Colts felt pretty good about Tanor Bortolini being their center. Here's Tanor Bortolini.
Some big shoes to fill with Ryan's, but I think those are two really tremendous players that this team's had for multiple years now. So obviously the bar is high. We don't step in with the expectation of being any drop off. So it's been a challenge to me and Matt both, but I think we're doing a great job at learning each day, getting better, finding one thing to improve upon, and doing our best for ourselves and the group.
What'd you learn from Ryan?
Ryan was just he did a lot of things super well, and I think just a lot of small technicalities in football that, in college you can get away with certain things. I think you're just a better player, better athlete than some of the guys you're going against, where once you get to the NFL, you go against guys like Grover Stewart, you make that same mistake that you were able to get away with. He's embarrassing you. So there's definitely a learning curve, and Ryan had a lot of little small tricks and tips that he kind of used on a daily basis that he helped me out, taught me, and it's been really, really helpful.
Have you been on the other end of the Grover giggle when he kind of manhandles someone to start laughing about?
Absolutely. I think you watched that Vikings clip last year, and I think I had probably one of those in the first couple days. And obviously, Grove's a lot of man. He's a great player. He's super strong, super powerful, and I think especially there's a learning curve to it all. It's the NFL. The bad players are real good, and the good players are really, really good. So the standard is you have to be great every play, every snap. And Grover's a guy that really holds you to that. So it's great work going against him every day, and really, really enjoy getting to know him and play against him.
You and Danny have to flip-flop in some reps. What do you learn from him just throughout this process? A guy who's been here obviously longer than you.
Just kind of what it takes to be consistent. Danny does a great job every day coming in, being the same guy. He has the same routine. And he's been doing this for a long time. You don't stick around this long in the NFL by not doing things right. And that's something that I really appreciate Danny for. Even though we're competing, he's still a great teammate. Someone I can always lean on, ask questions to. Tips, tricks, what he does, what he likes, and pick each other's brains. And I think that's the really cool part about it is that even though it is a competition, we're still friends in the locker room, we're still close, and we both want the job, but he's still really good about, being helpful, and it's not just like, hey, me versus you right now. It's still, when one of us wins, we still need the other guy to be there, be ready to play if anything ever happens.
How's the relationship been with Coach Spahn just developing after a full year with him and obviously coming to this training camp?
It's been great. I think, obviously year two, the expectations are more. Year one, you're given a little more leniency on mistakes you can make just because there's a lot being thrown at you. So this year just kind of, you come in, it's like, wow, the playbook, it's not as crazy as I thought it was last year. It's not that much, not as bad. But so, year two, I think the expectation is be better. Don't make the same mistake twice. Find something to work on every day. He does a great job at calling me out when I need to be called out. Finding little things to improve upon every day. And even on the reps you win, hey, what could I have done better? And I think he's tremendous in that aspect.
Is there a difference in an approach maybe mentally when you have quarterbacks who are kind of cycling through in the backfield? I know you guys are focusing on your thing, but you kind of have that in like a subconscious thing of who's behind you and how you need to maybe do things differently?
Somewhat, but I think those two do a great job at having the same cadence, same style of mechanics in the huddle where you don't really notice a big trade-off when one's in, the other's not. And I think play style, they're both very similar, and the aspects that they're mobile, they're able to make throws on the run, which is the nice part is that the playbooks, the play calls are very similar for both guys. And I think this is something you can't let affect you. Obviously guys are going to get hurt during the year in general. I think last year we had 9 O-linemen start, so you can't let differences in the lineup change what you do your preparation and your on your day-to-day basis.
Is there anyone around the league, like center-wise, that you look at? I don't know if there's a lot of center highlight tapes on YouTube, but just people that you look body size-wise or whatever that you can say, okay, this is how it's supposed to be.
I think I watched a lot of Jason Kelsey, especially coming out of college. It's somebody that obviously is an extremely, extremely good player. Been doing it at a very high level for a long time, just retired recently. But going back, watching his tape, what he does well, just kind of knowing that we have some similarities in the speed aspect and what are some things that he did that gave him the edge over guys, that maybe a little bigger, a little stronger. But what gave him the edge, what footwork, what technique, what hand placement did he use? Just because even, he played in Shane's offense and Shane raves about him, how great of a center he was, how great of a leader he was. So obviously just someone you kind of look up to growing up, and then in the NFL, just a great person to roll your or shape your play after.
Last year when they drafted you and Matt, they said big reason was because you guys fit perfectly into the room, the O-line room, like as players, your personality, everything. So a year later, how do you think you like ingrained yourself into the culture that like Quentin and Braden and Ryan helped build?
I think year one, you got to kind of earn your stripes a little bit. So you come in, you're a little quieter, kind of know your role. You can't be a super outspoken rookie, otherwise they're probably going to tell you some things you don't want to hear. They've been a great group of guys. I think they could have been, a lot worse to us, but they were really extremely helpful. And I think our year one development, like even Q, like, hey, coming in the spring, like, hey, you guys, really good chance you'll have to play at some point this year. You don't know when it's going to be. You don't know when your opportunity is going to be. But we need you getting better every day, so that when your opportunity does come, you guys are ready. And I think, as you get to know those guys, get to know who they are, what they like to do outside of here, we have a really special group in there, a really close group, and I think that allows us to play seamlessly when guys come in on and off the field. When we have new guys coming in, there's not a huge drop-off in play, and I think that's a huge piece of it.
There's Tanor Bortolini, says that Grover Stewart's a whole lot of man. Yes, he is. And you see what Tanor maybe can be, and the level to which these guys go, and the level at which YouTube really helps. Like, you go to YouTube, you watch a guy like Jason Kelsey play the position in the way you want to play it, and that's very helpful to a guy like Bortolini, who's trying to figure this out. But a good guy, funny guy, good to catch up with Tanor Bortolini.